You smell it before you see it. Wood smoke, warm wheat, yeast doing its quiet little miracle. And that smell is not comfort, it is a scoreboard. Bread in a medieval town is a social badge you can smell from across a street. It broadcasts your status, your safety, and your future mistakes. It tells everyone what you are worth. It tells them how much you can be robbed for. It tells them how loud you are allowed to complain. It also tells the town whether it is about to riot. Bread is not a side dish here. Bread is the calorie backbone, the floor under the whole economy. When that floor shifts, people do not debate policy. People break things. Your danger has two heads. The first head is biology. Grain rots, molds bloom, fungi lace flour with toxins. A perfectly normal loaf can flip your nervous system into chaos. The second head is human psychology. Bread laws exist because crowds get violent when loaves shrink. Bakers get punished when people get hungry. Hungry people get creative when they decide your bread looks expensive. So survival starts with understanding the bread ladder. At the top sits pain domain, also called pain domain. Pale, fine, soft, white bread that screams wealth, because whiteness requires work. Extra milling, extra sifting, more wasted bran, more labor, more cost. Next comes manchette, still refined, still pale. Best household bread for people who want quality without pretending to be a lord. Then wastel, high status, fine flour, almost cake-like in tenderness, a full pantry signal. Then cocket, respectable wheat bread below the top tier, still a signal. Then cheap bread, less refined, practical, routine. Then tourte, traite, brown bread with husk and grit, more chew, less glamour, more survival. Then maslin, mixed wheat and rye grown together because the weather does not care about your plans. And at the bottom, horsebread, cheap, dense, mixed grains, sometimes legumes, fuel for animals, also fuel for humans when life gets ugly. Those names are not trivia, they are threat levels. Now the science. Grain stores water. Water invites microbes. In damp years, rye is a magnet for a fungus that replaces kernels with hard, dark growths. Those growths carry alkaloids that clamp down blood vessels and mess with the brain. Circulation drops, nerves misfire, muscles spasm. Reality starts bending at the edges. This is not superstition. This is chemistry. Even without that fungus, old flour can hold molds that produce mycotoxins. Add medieval sanitation, and you get tired hands, dirty aprons, shared surfaces, and sometimes rodents doing a little quality control with their teeth. Then the human factor swings back in. Bread scarcity triggers crowd behavior older than law. When loaves shrink, people assign blame. When blame spreads, the crowd stops being individuals. It becomes one animal with 1,000 hands. You beat nature and stupidity with the same strategy. Stay quiet, stay ordinary, stay mobile. No arguing with a baker, no lecturing hungry people, no flashing pale bread like a victory banner. You eat, you move, you live. Now the methods. Method 1. Disappear into the right bread. You do not advertise. A pale loaf in a hungry street is a flare. It tells every stressed brain that you have resources. It tells every desperate hand where to reach. You choose the bread that matches the street. If most people hold darker loaves, You carry a darker loaf. Cheat bread, tourte, maslin, something that blends, something boring. Wrap it in cloth, keep it low, hold it like it is normal. This works because the human brain filters patterns. Outliers get noticed, outliers get tested, outliers get taken. Failure looks simple. One stare becomes many. Attention becomes pressure. Pressure becomes hands on your food. Then a shove. Then a market turns into a stampede. Method 2. Beat the fungus before it beats your nervous system. You cannot lab test bread in the street. You can still screen it. In wet seasons, avoid rye-heavy loaves when you have a choice. Favor wheat-based bread when possible. If you end up with maslin or any dark loaf that might be rye-heavy, break it open in good light. Look for strange dark bits that do not belong, hard black-purple flecks that look wrong against the crumb. Smell matters too. Bitter, medicinal, or chemical notes are a warning. This works because contamination often leaves clues. Not perfect clues, useful clues. Failure starts quiet. Nausea, confusion. Then your body goes sideways. Limbs ache. Control slips. Judgment gets loud and stupid. Nature loves that. Method 3. Outsmart adulteration with physics. When grain prices spike, some sellers stretch flour. Not everyone. Enough. Fillers change density, they change texture, they change how a loaf tears. You keep a simple weight check. A string, 2 small cloth pouches, loaf in one pouch, stones in the other until it balances. Your goal is not an official measure. Your goal is consistency. You compare today's loaf to yesterday's loaf. Then you do the tear test. A real loaf tears into fibers and uneven crumbs. A stuffed loaf crumbles into dust, or feels heavy for its size, or chews like wet clay. This works because physics is honest. Density and structure do not lie. Failure drains your coins. Hunger follows. Hunger eats self-control. Then you start taking risks you cannot afford. Method 4. Use bread as a tool, but respect time and bacteria. Bread is dry armor. Dry bread resists microbial growth better than wet food. That is why trenchers work. Bread plates, food on top, sauce soaks in, then you eat the plate. The mistake is saving soaked bread. Warm, wet, starchy, that is a perfect incubator. The moment bread turns into a sponge, the clock starts. If you eat off bread, you eat it immediately. No carrying it around. No leaving it warm in cloth. No later. This works because microbes need moisture and time. You remove both. Failure brings gut illness. Diarrhea and dehydration in a medieval town are not inconvenient. They are lethal. Method 5. Pick fuel that keeps your brain steady. Very refined white bread digests fast. Quick energy, then a crash. Crashes make you impulsive, irritable, and sloppy. Coarser breads digest slower. Tourte and maslin keep you steady. Even rough horsebread-style loaves can stabilize you with bulk and slower absorption, especially when paired with fat or protein. Steady blood sugar supports patience and judgment. Judgment keeps you quiet. Quiet keeps you alive. Failure looks like this. You chase soft white bread. You crash. You get angry. You make noise. Noise attracts the 1,000 hands. This is survival against nature and stupidity. Both are undefeated. So you do not challenge them. You outlast them. You keep your bread ordinary. You keep your senses sharp. You keep your body fueled. You keep moving.